16th. Welcome to episode 3 of the Bulldog Alley podcast. My name is Cole Forsman, joined again, as always, by my co-host, Asher Ali.
What's up?
Asher, how you doing? How's the last week been without school?
It's been good, man. We were kind of just catching up before the pod, and we were both in around Montana this week. I was in Yellowstone, adventuring the park. It's like Disneyland, but in nature, so it's cooler, in my opinion. Personally, I had a great time, super fun. And we were a little bit off the grid last week, so we had some catching up to do. But I think we both got back right in time for some of the bigger Zag news to hit this week, so we're ready to get into it.
Yeah. On that note, we want to give a quick shout out to the women's rowing team. They just won their 7th straight WCC championship down in Lake Natoma. Did I say that right? Yep, down there near Sacramento. I know you're from not really that area, but
no, LA West. Hey, SoCal is the best part kind of California, bro. But yeah, they're up in NorCal.
Yep. They won every race. The V8, the 2V8, the V4, and the 2V4. That's something that they had never done before. Do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah. So that was actually the second time they've done that.
Okay.
But it's the first time that they've done it in 5 years. They've really the program's really come to light under new head coach Andrew Derrick. This was really, really impressive. They they set high marks in the V8, went 6:47.3, 6 minutes for 2K meters. That's really impressive. I think they were 3 seconds ahead of the next closest boat in that race. And then the other ones, it wasn't even close. It was the margin was way closer. It was way further in both the 2V8, the V4, the varsity 8, the varsity 4, and the second varsity 4. So they really did their thing out there in Sacramento. It's kind of like business as usual for them, I guess, after winning this for the 7th straight time. But it's still, that's a huge accomplishment nonetheless. And a bunch of accolades individually for the rowers this year. Sailor Hawes was the WCC Coxswain of the Year this year. And Katie Searhoos, she is a freshman and she won the Newcomer of the Year. This year, she was also a first team all WCC selection for rowing. And Megan Chalfont, the WCC co-rower of the year this year. She's a grad student. Actually came with Coach Derrick from Seattle Pacific last year, where she really, I believe she was in bow in their varsity 8, and now she's a leader on the Gonzaga team, and she split it with she split it with Gretchen Staub from Creighton for that role. The really cool thing about this year's team, I got a chance to talk to them before the beginning of the season. And I got to talk to some of the upperclassmen, the seniors on the team, and they were really excited for the season because they thought the team energy and the team dynamic was the best it's been in their 4 years. So, I've seen them win a championship every single year I've been here. This year though was different. They said the energy was very conducive towards success. They were they were really big on each other's success and pushing each other in a healthy way, in a healthy environment. Something they said maybe wasn't always there before, even when they were winning. They said this year was definitely the healthiest environment they've had as a team. And the seniors there were clearly excited to row again, and they wanted to repeat. They wanted to go back to back to back to back. They wanted that, and they got it. That's the great thing about a sport like rowing, is it's really the work that you put in, and it shows out so greatly there on the water over those 2,000 meters, and the women's team killed it. So congrats to them. Shout out to them. Good luck at the NCAA tournament or NCAA championship, which is on Friday, May 27th to May 29th in Florida. And last season, the team placed 20th there, and their V8 were in 19th. So let's hopefully see some better results this year. But it was a great showing from last year. So, congrats to them.
Yeah. I mean, it's any sport, it's hard to repeat, let alone do it 7 times. And for this group of seniors to do it every single year and to end it on pretty much the best note you can, literally sweeping all 4 heats. Certainly an incredible feat, truly the dynasty that is on Gonzaga's campus. And they had 4 rowers on the All-WCC first team. That was the most by any school. Creighton had 3. Yeah, well done for them. And as you said, good luck to them down in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we had baseball wrapped up probably one of the crazier weekends that Patterson Baseball Complex has seen in a while. The Zags took on Santa Clara in a 3-game series on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That featured 2 walk-offs in back-to-back days. An emotional roller coaster for sure. Game 1 started off Gabe Hughes on the mound for the Zags. Pitched 7 innings, gave up just 2 earned runs, 4 hits. Alec Gomez came in as well on the mound, but then the story was 2 runners on, down, bottom of the 9th. Connor Cabales in a sacrifice bunt, moved runners into second and third. SCU was leading 2-1 at that point until Dylan Johnson, who re-entered the lineup for the first time in a while, had a 2 RBI single to walk it off for the Zags to take game 1. Then it wasn't long before on Saturday, I think it was the longest game at Patterson Baseball Complex, 15 innings, capped off by a solo bomb by Tyler Rando, who just put the Zags offense on his back this series. To be honest, he walked away with WCC Player of the Week. That I think for game 1, and I think I don't remember his game 1 stats. Game 2, he went 4 for 7, I believe. Game 3, he went 3 for 4. Just absolutely dominated. And yeah, the Zags ended up sweeping Santa Clara. They have not lost the WCC series this season. And yeah, between the offense, this last series coming up big, and then the pitching staying consistent Friday through Sunday, really fun series to watch.
Yeah, I was blown away just by how resilient the Zags showed themselves to be this weekend. You know, Friday, and it started on Friday. They really set the tone on Friday. It was an emotional night, man. You know, they're celebrating, you know, the life of their assistant coach, and everybody's wearing the number 8 on their jersey, you know, representing. And it was just so like tough. I could see it, like when I was watching the game. I could just see that like the team had, like, they were a little down to start, like, you know, maybe emotionally they were a little bit just kind of reflecting. And then when they bounced back and you know, Gabe Hughes, you know, he gave up 2 runs in the second inning. And then after that, he was pretty much spotless. He was one hit after the second, finished out strong, you know, strikeouts galore. And then the Zags were just, you know, they just kind of clawed tooth and nail to get back into that game and, you know, find a rhythm there at the end. It was, you know, as impressive as a win gets there on Friday night, and the follow-up Saturday with a long battle, 15 innings, using 5 pitchers, like, and only holding a team like Santa Clara out of 2 runs. That's definitely some kind of integrity that's going to show a lot later, but hopefully down the line, the postseason, if you have a guys who can come out of the pen and give you consistent innings like that. And then, you know, to come out after that exhausting game on Saturday and have a dude like Owen Wild continue to shove, even in 4 1/3 innings of work, 7 strikeouts is crazily impressive in that amount of time. And then Will Kemper finished it out. And like you said, Tyler Rando was the star of the offense this week, this past week. But, you know, the other guys 7 up too. It's not like Gonzaga's, you know, it's not like he's the only guy hitting for them, but he's just really on a tear right now, and you have to give him props for it.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that long game, managed as well as you could by the coaching staff, because you got to think, you know, you got a game on Sunday, and then they're going to have a road game here on, I believe, Tuesday against Oregon. That's a big game. You want to keep arms fresh, so rotating guys in and out, very well done by them. And yeah, watching, I was sitting at home watching the series, but just watching Tyler Rando, him play, it's fun. You can see the passion that he plays with. There was a couple of times where he drive one out into the outfield, and he's rounding first, and he's got like this gritty face, just hauling butt to second base. He's got his helmet flying off. He's diving in. He's getting the bench riled up, and so fun to watch. But yeah, gritty series for sure. And like I said, they'll take on Oregon this Tuesday, but then they have huge series, just like last year, similar position against USD.
Yeah. USD is going to be. I mean, they have 4 games here definitely locked in where it's going to be tough because Oregon has played them tough this season. And USD, we kind of know the deal here. They're not far behind the standings. They're 2 games back. So the winner of this series has first place. Now a little bit different than last year. Last year they only had the regular season kind of title. They didn't have like a WCC postseason decide the conference champion, but this season they do. They're going back to Stockton next Thursday, May 26th. But before that, the Zags got to lock up that number one spot. And it's kind of insane that despite being undefeated in every series this year, not winning every game, but winning every series this season, they're still not in the clear yet for that number 1 seed heading into tournament play. So the Toreros have only lost 2 series this year. And even though last year the Zags beat them on that Friday night game to secure the WCC championship, they lost last year. So that was the last series the Zags actually lost in conference play. So they'll be looking for revenge for sure. But they're on the road, and it's tough because they have a double header on Saturday. I'm not 100% sure why they scheduled a double header instead of just having it play Saturday, Sunday. Maybe they want to give those kids another day of rest before, but I don't know. Seems like it's just a tough position to be in for both teams, honestly. But yeah, we'll see how the Zags perform. The last time they had a doubleheader was the second day of the season this year. And they lost to Oregon State and then beat the University of New Mexico. But, they got to hopefully win 2 of those, at least 2 of those games right this weekend. So, good luck to them. We'll see how they do. But the bats are hot and the arms are flying right now. So I'm excited to see how this turns out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's a little strength versus strength. Zags pitching staff versus USD's offense. USD leads the WCC in pretty much every major offensive category, from batting average, runs, hits, slugging percentage. Their last WCC series, they put up 9, 9, and 12 against Pacific. They had double-digit hits in all 3 games. Yeah, it's just it'll be interesting to see how the Zags handle that with the conference sort of on the line there. But yeah, certainly one to keep an eye on for seeding, not only in the WCC but also overall to potentially host a regional game here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I would. Oh man, if they host a regional, woo! I'm coming up here for it. I'm coming up to Spoke to watch a regional. Why not? But yeah, moving on. The NBA Combine, the NBA Draft Combine is right around the corner. We're excited about it. I actually really like the NBA Draft Combine. Everybody's like NFL Draft Combine, and I like it a lot. But the NBA Draft Combine is just kind of fun to watch, especially those scrimmage games. I'm a big fan of watching the scrimmage games. Just seeing these kids out there, they have like no chemistry whatsoever, and they're all just kind of out there, doing their own thing. But you get these like specks of greatness, and you kind of get to see like, oh, hey, who maybe has the potential to, go off in the league. And, me, I'm wrong 90% of the time, but it's always fun to see, like, find a new name maybe in there to pops off. But Cole, who do we have out there in the draft combine this week?
Yeah, so 76 total players. 4 Zags were invited. Chet Holmgren, Andrew Nembhard, Julian Strother, and Drew Timme, the usual suspects. It's going to be in Chicago from May 18th through the 20th. You can actually watch on ESPN News, I believe, starting on the 19th. And yeah, players, like Asher said, they're going to be competing in scrimmages, drills, shooting, strength, agility drills. They're going to be interviewing with teams, sort of get a feel for what their character's like. Chet Holmgren, is one of the top prospects, isn't expected to do a whole lot, probably alongside Paulo and Troy Smith, those guys who kind of have their position close to locked up in the draft. I believe Jalen Williams from Santa Clara was the only other WCC player invited. I was the only other WCC name I saw on that list. Fenbo Zag, for those who followed Zags recruiting a couple years ago. Of course, he decommitted from GU back last April. He went to the G League instead. He was invited. And yeah, it'll be super interesting. I'm big on the NFL Combine too. I got really big into that, measurements and 40-yard times. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to see how these guys test in these drills. And then, yeah, 5-on-5, it's pickup basketball, but like you don't want it to look like that. You got to sort of balance what you can do yourself and how great of a teammate you are on the court in those situations. And yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that all goes. Drew Timme and Andrew Nemhart have had their own little workouts with separate teams. I'm not really sure how those work. I know the NBA has like strict rules on team workouts and private workouts and stuff like that. They kind of want it all centered in Chicago, but of course, I've read somewhere that Drew Timme worked out with the Hawks and the Thunder recently, and then Andrew Nemhart with the Hawks last week as well. So, yeah, very interesting notes there.
Cool. Yeah, the one thing I'm interested in is like what will Chet participate? Will he participate in? I'm guessing he's going just get his measurements taken. Yeah, I feel like it's pretty standard. But I also know in the NBA draft combine, it's a little bit less kind of like not essential, I would say, but like it's essential for a lot of players. But for kind of those guys who are pretty secure, like I can imagine, the top three that everybody's talked about ad nauseum at this point. I don't know what those guys are really going to do over there. What else do they really have to prove? And it's always that concern about injuries and stuff like that, be on the floor with other guys. So I'd be interested to see if Chet participates. The one thing that you said, and you brought up how Jalen Williams is the only other WCC athlete to be invited is where's Jamari Bouye at? I saw last week he had a couple of workouts with some teams, and like you said, very private, so you don't know how those went, but I did see that he did have those workouts. One of them may have been with the Hawks, even. I could be mistaken, but one of them may have been with the Hawks. And where is he at? Like he's a dog. I need to see him at the combine. I need to, that's the perfect place for a guy like him. That's a perfect battleground for him to prove that he's worth like a high second, a late first, maybe even. Another, and then the GU guy that's left off the board is Rasir Bolton. Real tough, but I really hope he gets some workouts in. If he hasn't already, I apologize if I haven't seen that. But these are guys who could definitely add to the depth on the NBA bench, if not a G League affiliate for a little while and make their way up. So I hope all the WCC guys the best at the draft. But I will be tuned in, watching and seeing how it goes.
Yeah, and you just alluded to that. We don't really know what Chet, Paulo, and Jabari Smith, Jaden Ivey, what are they really going to do other than interview with teams? I'm sure they'll do that. But then you get guys who really, this is their moment, like Jabari Bouye's, the Rasir Boltons, who, this is their future on the line right here. And I'm sure that they would compete their asses off at this combine and do what it takes to earn recognition from other scouts around the league. But it is what it is. I'm sure those guys' careers are going to advance in some way or another. I know Rasir Bolton, I read, had one more year of eligibility, I believe. Not really sure how that's going to work. The pandemic screwed eligibility up more ways than one. So, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's very big for Timme and Strother as well, who sort of sitting on that fringe line of second round undrafted. Of course, Drew Timme, the appeal to come back would be win a national championship, get all the NIL deals he can out of Spokane, and improve his game. To scouts more, develop a 3-point shot, his defensive consistency. Then Strother, just more reps in general.
Yeah, and those lucrative NIL deals and all of that, we're seeing all that play out right now. And it'll be fun to see how Gonzaga guys react to it, what that means for them coming back or not for the draft. But I think that kind of wraps us up here, right? Cool. We had a good week of Gonzaga sports, and we're looking forward to some stuff this week that's really crucial to a lot of different teams and programs. I'm excited to kind of sit in chair and just watch it all unfold. And I'm ready to come back next week and talk about it.
Yep. School's out. All we do is just focus on Gonzaga sports now. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Dog days of summer are not going to come anytime soon for us. But yeah, I think that's all we had for today's episode. Thank you once again for listening, and have a great week, y'all.
Yeah. Peace out, everybody.